So this is on trail day number 139. I'm here at Virginia Route 621. I'm going north today for 15 miles. Got 4 pines to slack pack me today. And I'm going to go over the Dragon's Tooth. I decided to take a 0 yesterday after 9 days of backpacking. It was nice to take a day off. But I'm going to slack pack 15 miles today. It's supposed to be in the 20s tonight, so I'll stay there one more night and then be back to the regular scheduled program the day after. The high today is supposed to be only 46, and there's a wind advisory of like 30-mile-an-hour winds at higher elevations. So it might get a little cold today. The Audie Murphy Monument, 3.7 miles. So that'd be kind of cool. Sure is clear water. Looked like it was a little flooded here, not too far in the past. So I'm going up this hill. I'm about a fifth of the way up. My hoodie was getting a little warm. But with the wind, I could really see it up on the ridge. So I took the hoodie off and put on the rain jacket. It's less insulative, but it blocks the wind more. But the terrain so far has been pretty good. But I hear that it's going to get pretty rocky and steep, so we'll just have to wait and see. So this is kind of the first view of the day. Got a bunch of trees, but walking on this ridge. A decent little camp spot right there for a tent or a hammock for a warmer, non-windy time of year. But we still got to climb all the way up, and then I think we're going to go kind of follow that ridge. So still got a ways yet. So I'll climb up the top onto this ridge, and we still got to keep going up some. A nice little sitting bench. But that was a pretty good climb. It just went on for a long way. It wasn't very steep, but just kept going. Now hopefully we can start getting some good views here shortly. So we made it to the side trail for the Audie Murphy Monument. There's a camp spot right there. Doesn't look that far, so. And I had to double check up when I saw it this morning. I was like, oh yeah, Audie Murphy died in a plane crash. But I couldn't remember right off who he was. If he was an actor or a soldier or what. But he's the most decorated soldier of World War II. And then he died here somewhere in this area in a plane crash. May 28, 1971. Born in Kingston, Texas, died near this site in an airplane crash. America's most decorated veteran of World War II. This monument's been here since 1974. And people come leave trinkets and a set of dog tags. That's pretty cool. This is the overlook that's up here close to the Audie Murphy monument. There's some more flags and stuff right over there. But it wasn't far, so it was worth a little trek. And there's a bench right here to overlook as well. So come up this little ridge and there's a deer right there in the trail. He's about to go. Didn't go very far. That's the thing, deer run. They're fast, but they don't go far. Just right on down the AT. And she didn't go far. Stopped, turned around looking at me. Keep the tree between me and her. There we go. She already knew I was here, but if they don't see movement, they usually don't get skittish. Yeah, she's done stopped again. Yeah, she's going off down from the trail. Well, she didn't go very far. Now she's staring at me again. She's like, man, that trail was easier to run on than all this junk. Let me go back up to the trail. The ways you find to entertain yourself. Just play with the wildlife. That's a fairly young doe, so. What happened? Your mama put you out on your own? Alright, well, the dragon's tooth, that's in the near future. I don't know what there is between here and there, but it's coming up. So pretty much since the Audie Murphy monument, it's been flat or downhill. Very nice terrain. We have a shelter coming up here shortly. Probably going to stop there for a snack. I don't need any water, which is a good thing because the shelter says the water's like down a whole bunch of steps to get to it. We still have a little climbing, but not as long and steep as what I first done this morning. Got the Dragon's Tooth is in a little over 5 miles. So there's some ledges and stuff like that. We get some views before we get to the Dragon's Tooth. But it's only 12:30. We started at like 9:15ish. So we've been like 7 miles in 3 hours. Not bad. So I came across this little campsite here, right off the trail. I'm almost to the Pickle Branch shelter, but I double checked and it's 0.3 miles off trail, so it's not really windy here, so I'm gonna sit on one of these rocks and take a break here. Oh, we're still climbing up a little. We got a view spot here. We're a little bit of a view spot. We should be getting close to the end of this climb, and then we'll just kind of walk along the ridge for a while. Should get some good views from there. This is nice, just kind of walking along this ridge line. Some nice views with the leaves all gone. It is a little more windy, but the raincoat is taking care of that for the most part. So. We got about 3 more miles to the Dragon's Tooth. And then about 2 more miles after that and we're done. This is a great section to slack pack. And I hadn't got to the tough part yet from what everybody's saying. But just the overall up and downs and the rocks. I don't know which would be the most difficult, going north or going south. I'm just going north so that I'm walking back to the hostel. That way you just tied up the shuttle driver in the morning and he's got the rest of the day to do whatever while you do what you gotta do. And he's not having to wait on you to call him. And you don't have to worry about getting somewhere and not having service. At the road crossing I started at, there was no cell service, so. And then it's been a lot of the day I hadn't had any. So I'm almost to the Dragon's Tooth. The trail just kind of followed this ridge, and now we got to go up and over these rocks. I don't know if that lump out there is the Dragon's Tooth or it's up on that side, but we will see here shortly. This isn't too bad. It didn't come up over the rocks, it kind of come around behind them. kind of snaking its way in and out. Starting to get a little breezy. The rain jacket's been working out pretty good today. Had I had a full pack of gear, I probably would not have been wearing the rain jacket. For slack packing today, it worked good. Here's a little view spot. It was a little bit further away from the Dragon's Tooth a while ago than what I thought. But that should be it there. So this time I'm almost there. I was like a mile away. I had to come over, basically following this ridge and going in and out of rocks and over rocks. And it hadn't been too bad. We get to the top of the Dragon's Tooth here, and it's pretty much all downhill after that. And I think I'll have like right at 2 miles. And it's just 3:30, so I'll get done in great time today. Well, it looks like we're almost there. And of course, you pop out and you still got a little bit further to go. That's the way it goes. Alright, I think we made it this time. Or at least I'm pretty close. Let's see what the sign says. That's a nice sign. It's all plastic. Well, this is it. And there's a couple of trails, like another trail. Oh, no. The sign says the Dragon's Tooth .1 that way. Alright, something slack packing. I'll go 0.1 more miles. Off the White Blazes. Guess I can check this out. Well, this is kind of cool, I guess. It looks more like it could be the dragon's teeth, but and the moon's right out there. Well, looks like that's about it. Well, that was kind of cool. I guess it was worth the off-trail experience. And now we get back to the White Blazes. Back down to town. Inside where it's nice and warm. And get some food. All the wonderful things that hikers want. So I'm back at the trail. And somebody has wrote Cation steep. It may be steep, but if you're gonna write on signs and whatnot, at least make sure you spell it correctly. I'm not the best speller in the world either, but it just makes that individual's opinion of steep a little less likely. It doesn't look like, so far, it's near as bad as Mount Moose Lock, so I wouldn't classify it that steep. I swear, this is the most blazes I've seen in one spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blazes within 20 feet. Make that 11. The blaze maker got a little bit carried away right there. If they put blazes like that in the rock gardens in Pennsylvania, that would have been nice. Uh-oh, we got steel in Virginia. Look out. I haven't seen any of that since leaving Maine. Well, that's an interesting section of trail. You just kind of, I came down that, but if you were going up it, you'd just kind of the same way. Have to climb those little ridges up through there. This is definitely the most technical that I've seen since heading south from Harper's Ferry. But it still wasn't bad. By this point I've seen much worse. Got one more little view spot here. It's right on the trail. And that ridge was what we was going over all earlier today. I got probably about a mile left. So not too long. Be back down at the road. And back over at Four Pines Hostel. Which it just can, maybe, I don't know, there's like a red barn down, but anyway, those buildings right down there, that's the hostel. But on a typical year, they said the field would be full of tents and the hostel would be full of hikers. But there's only 2 hikers there, counting myself. So it's a lot slower this year. But it's a super cool place. Had a really good steak dinner last night. Cooked it on the grill. And had a baked potato, garlic bread in the oven. Hostels that have a full kitchen are great. When I get down to the road, there's little green pine tree blazes. It goes along the road, takes you right to the place. But it's a super cool hostel. If I was ever hiking in this area again, I'd make sure to go by there and stay. You can see the hostel good from here. The red barn, and beside it there's it's got like a green wall. There's a mural painted on it and a big AT on the roof. So it'd be the farthest one there to the left. And then the hostel itself is a big 3-car garage there behind the house. So we just gotta get over this rock and down off this ridge to that road. And we are done for today. And in the morning, I'll get a shuttle back to where I started today and start heading southbound again. All the other hikers on trail are trying to get to Angel's Rest Hostel for Thanksgiving. I might make it there, I don't know. It was supposed to rain Wednesday. It's like a 60% chance, which I would have planned to hike it in 60%. Those days it's 100% all day that I'd try to avoid. But yeah, 60% chance of rain. And when I got up this morning and looked at the weather, that had changed to a 20%. So if the weather's good, I don't know how many miles it is. I haven't really checked it, but we might make it there. Who knows? Have Thanksgiving with the other hiker trash that's on the trail. But if I don't make it, then I'll have to come up with some inventive Thanksgiving dinner to have on the trail. So I'm almost back to the road. It's less than half a mile. It was a good day so far. I'm glad I went northbound over the Dragon's Tooth. As the climb from the road up to the top of that would have been pretty tough. I'm glad I slack packed it. If I'd have been just hauling my regular pack load, that would have been a tough day. But my feet feel good. I think the new shoes are going to work out. They get a little tight around the toes by the end of the day as your foot swells, but they're not so tight I don't think they'll cause any problems. But you do walk a little different in hiking shoes versus chacos. So my shins are a little sore. Whoop. I'm hoping I don't get shin splints. So I'll probably use a trekking pole later and kind of rub the muscle out. It's not bothering me too bad, but I can feel a little bit of soreness in my shin, mainly my left one. But there's always something. Something's gonna hurt. Well, anyway, that's the end of the day. And we'll be back at it again in the morning. Yeah, I almost forgot. So that's where I came out Saturday afternoon. And that's where I came out just now. And here's a little green pine tree blazes on the road. There's a sign over there on the northbound side. There was none on the southbound side. There's another one. So it's like a half mile, give or take, up here on the left. Let's just follow these little green trees.